How's everybody doing today? I hope that you guys are having a great day. If you're tuned in here to the channel, you're here as always to see a tips and tutorials video. This time it's going to be on Madden, and it's going to be how to stop the edge rush or outside run. I may call it both of those things here in Madden 19, and basically what we're going to be going through here is just normal scenarios where you're going to expect an outside run, or you're getting hit up a whole lot by the outside run against the AI or maybe even a user, and you're looking to stop it. So what I'm going to do first and foremost is I'm going to come out in a base 3-4 defense just to show you how exactly I do it against a base defense. So I'm going to come out with the pinch Mike O. And that's going to be my base blitz as I'm expecting a run play. We're just going to say this is a first down. And I want to give a shout out to Deadly Fresh J-Man. He actually is the one that I sat down with yesterday and gave him a lot of tips. I actually called the wrong play here, so I'm going to have to switch it in a second. But he gave me, or I was giving him a lot of tips on, how to stop the run and stuff like this. And I was like, you know what? I tried to stream it, but you can't share play and stream at the same time. So what I decided to do was go ahead and make this video as kind of a record for anybody to watch afterwards and see, some of the things that I do. So I'm going to go pinch Mike O. I just like to do a nice little man blitz where I have my linebackers blitzing, my safeties and corners primarily in man coverage, and then out of say a strong formation here, we're going to go ahead and just go with like the halfback off tackle, or maybe even a halfback toss. Let me see if I can find. This is a good formation to do it out of, the strong formation. For some reason, it's not using my playbook. But this is a base defense, and I'll show you what happens if I just run my base defense against it. Don't make any adjustments or anything. Generally speaking, if they get that block right there, the running back's going to have a decent time being able to get outside and get the play going. So what I do to adjust to this is a lot of times you can do it as simple as that, is adjust your D-line, and that will help you. Now, these are just basic adjustments. Here's adjusting your defense, or you can slide over your entire defense like this so that your edge man out there has the advantage and is able to hold the edge and prevent them from running outside. Now, this isn't always going to get the job done, so you're going to want to combine this with a couple other things. So you're going to shift your defense over, and then I recommend bringing your safeties over towards that side of the field. Now, this can leave you vulnerable on the left side of the field, but that's the chance that you have to take. If you're trying to stop the edge rush to the outside on the right side, you move your guys over like this, and they're going to be better able to stop the run over to that side. And I'm playing the AI on all Madden here. And as you guys can see, we're doing a decent job. The running back's not doing a great job of reading where he needs to go. But something I like to do a lot is user this safety up here. Once I've made my adjustments to move those guys out, and then I go ahead and read the play as it goes and bring this guy over. And what that does is that really prevents them from getting anything. That speed of the safety really kind of disrupts the backfield. And what you're trying to achieve here is you're really just trying to achieve getting your guys into a position where you force the play back inside. And that's why you want that outside linebacker right there, Ryan Kerrigan or Jake Ryan, whoever that might be on my team. You want them, because I believe I traded for Jake Ryan. But you want that edge linebacker, instead of being head-on-head with that tight end, you want him to be shaded outside of that tight end. That's how you're going to be able to stop that ball from getting outside. Now, there are a couple other things that you can do. Like, you can just do this, and you can singly bring this linebacker out here and just bring a safety down. That means you don't have to shift over your entire defense. You're going to be slightly more spread out here and maybe more vulnerable to a run up the middle, but this is going to spread you out and be able to protect you from kind of really any runs going the opposite direction. So that's the main thing, is trying to shift your defense so that outside linebacker is shaded outside of whatever edge personnel there is, whether it be the right tackle, the tight end, the furthest most tight end. And so what I'm going to show you guys is the same thing out of a 3-4 formation where they come out in a couple different offensive sets. So if we go with the tight end, or sorry, just the single back wing pair here, this formation is stacked heavily to the right, but we're going to go with a halfback stretch. This is a play that's run out a lot out of the set. And as you can see, those tight ends have the outside shading on the right side, and this could give them an advantage on this play to really get the blocks going. Now, my defense makes some good plays here, but as you can see, A lot of times the AI will run a play like this and they'll be successful with it because they have outside shading, and all it requires is the tight ends to actually do their job and block. So as you can see, a pretty positive run there. So what you're going to want to do is the similar thing. You're going to want to bring this linebacker to outside shading on that player, and that's step one. And then you want to bring your other guys over and bring the safeties down a little bit into the box. And that's going to shift it over so that this side is kind of, they're not going to be able to run over here, but they're also not going to be able to run as easily over here because you've now created an outside force that's going to prevent them from getting the ball outside. It's going to force them to run the ball into this gap here. Well, if this guy's here, he's going to be here ready for the tackle, and then this safety and corner are back here prepared to come in and make the play. So let's go ahead and run the play and see what happens. I always like to use the weak side safety because then you can adjust and run over. And as you can see, I didn't even need to bring over the safety on that one. What happened was the guys that were over there by themselves made the play. So I'm going to sit back and not bring the safety over on this one and see what my guys do, see if they actually make the play. Now the important thing to remember about this is this does leave you vulnerable to potentially a pass coming across the opposite direction. And obviously I'm not in the perfect formation to actually be able to stop this right now because I'm in a 3-4, and this is a much heavier personnel than a 3-4 is. So I'm just showing you that you can stop this out of a less ideal formation. Now, what you would ideally want to do is if they came out in that heavy of a formation, and you can do the same things out of it, is you would come out and say a 4-4 or I think it's a 5-2 or 4-6 bear, a real heavy formation like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop into, say, a cover 2 invert, for example, and then run the same play out of this formation. So a halfback stretch. And what this one does is it's very much the same, but you want to spread your linebackers like so. And this one has a heavier package, and you're pretty much set to stop the run either way, but you want to spread out a little bit so that that run to the edge doesn't get outside. So as you can see, defense does a very good job of blowing this up in the backfield. We actually have the correct personnel out there now because we're in a heavier set. We're able to match up against them. It's going to create a lot of problems for them. Now, pretty much that's it. I mean, that's what you want to do to stop the edge rush. There are a couple other things I'm going to point out to you guys that you can do in other situations that work just generally to help stop the run. And one thing that specifically helps to stop the edge rush. So, what I'm going to show you is if you choose a different play, if we go in here and find the 3-4 formation, and then you go to a cornerback blitz. Say this works really well against the user too. Say somebody is running outside on you all day. Well, call the cornerback blitz to the side where they're getting outside. I want to try and call. What play do I want here? For whatever reason, it's using a different playbook than the one I normally do. So we're just going to go ahead and go with the halfback motion toss, sorry. So you're going to want the corner to blitz from the side that you're getting hit from the outside run in. And this guy you're going to want to keep out here. You can again adjust people whichever way you want, but the corner coming off is instead of dropping back in coverage or reading their man, they're going to come straight in and do a good job of blowing that play up in the backfield, as you can see there. He didn't quite make the tackle. I mean, the guy I have over there is only a 70 overall, but it's disruptive enough that it's going to cause a problem for them. And I'm just going to do it without any adjustments and see how it plays out here. So that guy's going to come in, and the corner is going to come up off the edge. He didn't do a great job there, but he's going to come up and try and seal off the edge and be in the backfield prepared to make that play. Ideally, what you want, if this comes in motion, you want this corner blitzer to not come inside on the guy. Leave him outside to the best of your ability, because the further out he is, the better he's going to play this. See right there, he comes into the backfield, stops him for a 5-yard loss. That's one of the best ways to stop the edge rush. If you're playing somebody or you're playing an AI and they're rushing outside on you all day, bring the corner blitzes and adjust to it, and make sure that you have somebody coming off the edge to seal up the outside and force the run back inside. That's extremely useful. And you can always switch over to that guy and user him and do a better job of actually tackling than what this guy's doing on his own. But that's one of the big things. And then another big thing is that when you adjust, if you bring your safeties down into the box like this, just like 5 yards, that's going to put them in better position to make tackles. Now, this is just good against the run in general, and it can be accomplished 2 ways. You can do what I'm doing here, where you bring them straight up just on your own. You switch over to each of them and user them and bring them up 5 yards. Or what you can do is you can press triangle and then left, and that shows blitz, and that'll bring up pretty much everybody into the box and show as if you're kind of, either going to do a blitz or you're trying to stack up inside the box. That's why it's called show blitz for a reason. So it puts your guys better in a position to actually stop the run. Now, obviously, I'm talking here, I'm not doing everything quite perfectly, but these are the tips that are going to help you stop the run, especially against the AI. It's going to be a little bit different against the user, and for the most part, that corner blitz is one of the best ways to stop an edge rush. And always make sure that you have outside positioning with your outside linebacker. Feel free to move him out a little bit, a couple yards. I know it looks like he's in an odd spot, but it's really going to prevent this guy on the end from blocking him as well as they need to. And you can always move your D-line over by using the L1 button or left bumper if you are on Xbox. And that's going to help seal the edge. So those are my tips, just a quick little video for you guys to help you guys out on how to stop the edge rush. Again, shout out to Deadly Fresh J-Man, who is a subscriber here on the channel that hit me up and was asking me a couple of tips and tricks and things that I could help him out with. And kind of inspired me to make this video real quick. This is a good record for you guys to go back to if you need help stopping the edge rush. Remember those corner blitzes. Remember to have outside positioning, and remember to use your shifts, your linebacker shift, D-line shift, and the entire defense shifts to kind of affect where your guys are targeting defensively. You can always move your defense around to try and target the outside. You can target the right side like this by just moving the whole defense over, so on and so forth. Remember that moving your defense is one of the best things that you can do. Now, don't forget about the fact that if you're playing a user, they're going to be able to switch back to their original play a lot more easily, or audible a lot more easily than AI is. So say you move your entire defense over, a user is going to recognize that, and they're going to be able to switch to a different play more quickly than you're going to be able to switch back and get your defense back into position once they've already audibled out of that play. So it is a little bit harder against a user, especially experienced or good users. So keep that in mind, that it's not always going to work quite as well against users, but this will work very well against the AI, and it's a good starting point to develop your skills stopping the run against users. So just keep these things in mind. If this video helped you out, leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel for more, and leave comments down below what videos you guys would like to see. I'm probably going to come out with a second video today. It's going to be an MLB video. It's going to be some basic hitting tips and stuff like that. So I'll see you guys in the next episode or in the next video.